Okay, everyone. Hello, we are back here with Bridging the Gap, and we're here. We're now joined by Tyler Jones, who's a campaign manager for Kenisha. Tyler, how you been?
I'm well. Thank you for having me on.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's
Always
actually
a pleasure
also
to
one
have
of our
you.
hosts, also, by the way. I appreciate you. And now we were just talking to Kenisha, and we've noticed a lot of things have been going on in the camp over there. She keeps mentioning her team. So, what does the team do?
Everybody has their own expertise. Everybody has their own opinions to bring to the table. And luckily, Kenisha is keeping us afloat and making sure that we can make those ideas concrete.
So everybody keeps everybody straight.
Everyone, yes. So it's not, there's different titles on the team, but everybody contributes in a meaningful way,
Well,
which
you're
I
a team.
love. Well, you say team a lot, but a lot of times you'll have people that are on the team, but not contributing. We don't have that problem.
You mean
Okay.
teams is not team players?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I've definitely been seeing some good things. She's in different events, and she seems to be everywhere. What part do you play in a team? I know you're the campaign manager, but what do you do?
Yeah, I'm about to say, what don't I do right now? But I don't know. I think an easier way to kind of answer that question is just to talk about what we're focused on.
Okay, talk
because
to me.
What I do is intricate. But right now we're focused on making sure that parents, staff, and teachers are more so involved in having their voices heard. Because you notice with the PTAs being gone, you'll see a lot of things circulate on Facebook where people are putting out opinions and they want things addressed and they don't know who to talk to. So we want to change that around. You see Kenisha already actively in the community, and we also want to have some sessions later on where your voices can be heard, and that'll translate into some of our materials and making sure that everybody is adequately informed.
Like town halls.
Town halls.
Now, are there any of those already scheduled?
Normally,
Uh-oh.
yes. You might as well go ahead and let everybody know.
Right.
Let the cat out of the bag.
So Friday is my campaign kickoff. It's a community town hall.
Okay.
Literally geared towards what I love and what my campaign is about, to be a voice for the community, for students, teachers, staff, and parents and guardians to come and just be a voice and speak their mind and let us know what's going on. I do have some elected officials who will be there, as well as some community leaders and someone who's coming to speak and give resources to the community as well. That way I'm bringing everything to them, because I do know that sometimes when you work with people in the community, you realize some of their issues, and the issues is I don't have resources, or I don't have someone to watch my children.
Wow.
So I'm also going to have another space for you to be able to bring your children, where the youth are going to be able to watch those youth for you while you come to the campaign kickoff and voice your opinion.
And that'll be where?
It's going to be at the Salvation Army, November 7th.
The Boys Club. You talking about over on Eastern Shore Drive?
On Oak Street, at Oak Street.
Okay.
Where the football field is.
Okay.
So one gym's mine, and the other gym is going to be for the kids, so they
Nice.
can have fun and do what they need to do. Like I said, I'm trying to cater to the community because that's what we need. So if I can hit them where I know the love needs to be, then hopefully they'll trust me and give me their voices like they always do when I'm in the street anyway.
Thank you. Now, that's part of your area, too, isn't it?
Yes, the
Okay.
Salvation Army is in my district.
What is your district? Well, I mean, like generally.
Well, generally my district is Fruitland, Camden Avenue, Riverside Drive. I go all the way down to Pemberton Park, North Upper Ferry, and the smaller portion of Eastern Shore Drive where the Salvation Army is.
Hence the reason why you were at the Pemberton Coffee House it was a coffee house that had that,
Yes,
right?
it was at the
She would have
Pemberton
been there
Coffee.
anyway, though.
I was about to say, I would have been there anyway.
Because coffee?
No, I'm not
No,
even supposed to
she-
have coffee because of my Crohn's, but I would have been there anyway because that's just what I do anyway. You can't love on the people if you don't understand what's going on.
Nice. Now, I think that was great that you were there. Unfortunately, I don't think there was enough elected officials because I didn't really even think about that. The fact of what's going over there in Pemberton does affect the kids. So you would think that the elected official, which I'm not quite sure which elected board member that was, but you would have thought that they may have wanted to be there because, you're getting the product of what's going on in the school system because of what's going on before they get on the bus. So I was glad to hear that you were there, and now you're going to be over there. And so I guess one of your stops is going to be in Fruitland, too?
For what?
like.
Oh, it's an event? You mean for an event?
Yeah.
Of course.
She said for what?
We'll make it there. We're going to make it there,
No,
yes.
she has a presence everywhere.
I was
So
gonna
even there's a bunch of coat drives going on right now. It's one coat
I
drive,
forgot.
multiple locations.
Well, you got a campaign manager to help you.
I do so much.
See,
because I
this
do
is
it out
where
of the
you keep
kindness of
each
my-
other straight.
Exactly.
There we
Because
go.
half the time I forget what I do because what I do, and like I said, my campaign just gives me a bigger platform to do what I've already been doing. Like I said, I totally forgot. I mean, I know it's there if someone were to ask me. I do have the code drive at the Fruitland Police Department where you
Oh,
can
okay.
drop
Oh,
off.
I didn't even know about
codes.
that part.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can drop off your coats at any time. The code drive that I had did end. So it ended on the 24th, but those particular coats, which I was able to get donated over 54 coats, I believe, and they went to a domestic violence walk that I went to that Saturday, and those coats were distributed there and to the community.
The domestic violence walk. Tell us a little bit about that.
A little bit about the domestic violence walk. So it was hosted by Charmaine Bolden for Women for Women. And it was a very beautiful event to be able to have a bunch of people there to support people who have been abused by domestic violence, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, financial. It was just a beautiful event for us to all come together and walk those 3 miles. I ran, of course, but to be able to walk those 3 miles together and just love on each other, it was a beautiful time and a beautiful space.
Sure. You know, it's a sad scenario, but people do have domestic violence that sometimes it's when a woman goes through a domestic violence, a lot of times it doesn't get reported. And a lot of times there's a lot of scars that a lot of people don't see. So when they have someone else that could just give them the hug, and just be there for them, that's just awesome. I mean, I understand what you meant with the walk. That walk was not just, to make everybody aware of it, but it also gave that opportunity for you all
to come together and love on each other for what everybody goes through, whether you were just there supporting or you were a survivor.
Yeah, and it's very heartwarming to know that you have somebody who's been through what you've been through and you've overcome. You're like a phoenix and you rise up. You don't have to be bound by those chains of abuse. You just keep going.
It was a beautiful time to see some of the survivors there who actually were there with a bunch of supporters and just walking and talking and having fun with their children. It was beautiful.
Do you have any, and I know you don't want to say any names, but have you dealt with in your mentoring kids that have come from homes of
Those
domestic
effects.
violence?
I would say yes.
And the effect on the kids was probably
Yes.
traumatizing.
Yes, and I believe what goes on in a home, I wouldn't say they didn't necessarily tell me exactly what happened, but when you see certain patterns and behaviors of a child,
You can tell.
you can almost kind of figure out what's going on. And then, like I said, I question a lot. So in order to
Well, that's good,
understand my
though.
mentee, I need to question. I may not ask that particular question per se, but to understand what they're going through at home. And yes, it involves their mental. So when they're in school and they're aggressive, we don't know why, but they don't know any other way. I'm not saying it's right, but they don't know any other way.
Well, no, and that makes me think back when we had Pastor Craig Mitchell on the show, and he made a comment about the kid penitentiary, or they call choices over there. They're sending kids over there, and some of them just are going through things at home. They're not bad kids. They don't need to be separated. They need people around them that care and not to be put in solitary confinement over to these schools. And I know some people may not like the fact that I say that about choices, but I think a lot of times, just like a lot of times when kids get put on medicines, they're over medicated, when it's truthfully, you've got to get in there and know what's going on. Sometimes it's just that they need someone to hug them because mom and dad are arguing at the house all the time.
Or sometimes, it's like when Michael was here, he was talking about, they were pressing it as a mental issue for these boys, but with boys, they're just boys. I'm realizing that having 3 grandsons or 4 grandsons, they're rambunctious.
They're a little more rambunctious.
Those granddaughters are rambunctious too now.
Well, they are too, but a girl can go and entertain herself.
Mm-hmm.
The boys, they got to jump off of something or whatever. And sometimes that's just the way a boy is. I mean, I understand they have a time and a place for that, but that's what you're dealing with. It doesn't need to be medicated.
And I'm a firm believer of, even when you medicate, sometimes you have to be able to sit back and be able to see how their mental health is really going. If you over medicate, you don't even really know where their mental state is.
No.
Because you're suppressing everything.
Yeah,
Right.
you turn
Right.
them into zombies.
Yeah.
I would definitely know that. I was on 22 pills a day for almost 10 years of my life, so
Oh, my.
I definitely get it. And when it comes to choices, I actually have been at choices quite a few times to play my sound bowls for them.
Wow.
So yes, I do.
Wow.
I have been there too.
And see that's oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say she mentors in several schools.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the issues that we're talking about, we're not just talking about them from the outside. She is on the forefront.
That's what I
of
want.
Trying to be
Yeah.
proactive instead of
That's
reactive.
what we need.
Yes.
That's what we need. We don't need board members to only show up for board meetings. We don't need people who are in leadership that don't understand what happens after the school bell ring
Right.
or school bells ring. You know what I mean? It's what's going on afterwards. Like I said, those pictures I see that you got a bunch of young ladies that are just happy to be in the presence of an adult that actually just took some time out for them. You know? And one thing I want to say is, and I know we'll have other interviews before the actual election, don't lose that.
Oh, wow.
Don't lose that passion. Don't lose that want to be out there.
Right.
And I know with this campaign manager over here, you're not going to be able to, you know.
There's no way that I could lose that because that is who I am even before I decided to run for the seat.
I love it.
Right.
I do want to say this from my point of view, okay? I try to be as real as I can. I'm seeing so much growth in you.
Yeah.
And we just had you on a show maybe a couple months ago. I'm seeing so much growth in you. Just keep going. You know, taking your words again. Keep going, because a lot of people who are getting in this because they're politicians are going to wait to the last minute because they don't want to worry about the paperwork or whatever. But you're in it. It's not about you running for a seat. Like you said, somebody wanted you to jump
It's
higher.
what you
You're
already
like, nope,
do.
this is what
It's
I
what
do.
you already
This is what I
do.
This is what I've been
Keep
doing.
going.
Years before I was asked to be like, hey, you should run. I've been doing this. This is the work that I love to do. So
The only difference will be is you'll have the actual say. Like you'll be
A bigger
you'll be the
say.
one working behind the closed
Yes.
doors, getting things done.
Yes.
And
And
prayerfully the right way.
And I'll
Yeah.
understand why and for what, and I'll be able to look and dig in deeper to some of
Yeah.
the policies and procedures to
I like
see what
that.
needs to be able to change and things that need to be tweaked to help our
Right.
mental health, the unity, safety, and education portion of the school system.
Right, because it's kind of hard to go against something if you don't know what you're going up against.
Exactly.
You know, it's all about being a servant. I want to say this in closing. Barry Beecham said this the other night at a thing he had. He said when he was sworn in as a delegate and they were asking him all kinds of stuff and how much of an honor it was, his wife was standing there holding the Bible for him to be sworn in.
Right.
He said, the one holding the Bible is the servant.
That's right.
The one that's not out front but out there getting the work done, just being available. Availability.
That part.
That's what these kids need. You know, you may think that it's just TikToks that you're doing out there, but no, it's a lot more because, you know, there may be kids in your neighborhood that are looking out that window wishing they had a mom or a dad that would spend that little bit of time with them. You know, your son going to Showtime with the Apollo.
Yes.
I mean, shout out to my brother doing the
We
music.
did.
Shout out to Ski Boogie.
Hey.
But that's awesome. And he's still, I mean, the
Right.
first time that I even knew that you were running, he was there.
Wow.
So he wanted to be involved because you decided to be involved with him. That's what's awesome. That was my closing statement there. Someone else, Tyler, you got any closing things you want to say?
I just want to remind y'all to show up November 7th, starting at 5:30 p.m.,
6.
6 p.m. at 415 Oak Street. That is the Salvation Army. Like you said, community town hall. We want to hear your voices. If you have any concerns about your children, we would love to hear from you. And I'll pass it to you.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate
problem.
you. Like I said, I'm running to be a voice for the youth, the students, teachers, and the staff in the community and parents as a whole. Like I said, mental health, unity, safety, and education is my thing. And I just want to love on the people and just keep being my boots on the ground type of chick and just keep just building this bigger platform to be able to be that voice. So thank you.
No problem.
And thank you, Tyler.
Yes.
And my
absolutely.
team.
Right.
Everybody. I want to shout out Jermichael Mitchell, Amber Lee, Michael Langford, Kate Wolf. I got Tyler Jones over here. Who else am I missing? And
Sakina
Sakina.
Crawford.
And Sakina
Don't
Crawford.
forget Keisha Jones.
And I will definitely shout out Keisha Jones because without her assistance, he would not be here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. The only reason why I know that is because he's got the same name as my wife, and except for
Just
the
the
Jones
last,
and
yeah.
James.
Right.
Keisha, with that in mind, Keisha, what would you like to say in closing?
Well, I'd just like to thank you both for coming yet again, and we are definitely going to follow you on this campaign trail,
Thank you.
and can't wait for you to come back.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. This has been Bridging the Gap. Have a great one.
Bye.
And David, you know we're both James too, right?
I'm gonna put